time.
Next talk, claims management in transition, people, technology, and the future. Please welcome Markus Ljungblad from Gjensidige, Sweden.
My heart is hurting, it's more than a crush, 'cause I'm frozen in motion and my head tells me to stop, but my heart goes. 'Cause my heart goes. Oh my God, can't believe what I become.
Thank you for the introduction. Probably the coolest introduction I had ever, so thank you. I guess most of us work with claims, and then we can agree claims is the most important part of the insurance business. Most interesting, most fun, and that's where things happens. I'm going to talk about people, a bit about technology, and a bit about the future, but focus more on the human side, how to handle changes, and so on. So that's my focus for these minutes. I haven't really timed my presentations. It might be 5 minutes or 30. So if it's 5 minutes, they're going to be holiday picks as well. So. You've seen that. Just to give you a bit of history, 3 years ago, we started thinking about how can we improve claims handling within Gjensidige Sverige. We had a lot of discussions on what is important when it comes to claims handling. We ended up with 3 dimensions. We talk about productivity, both productivity from from the business side, reduce cost for what we are doing, but also when it comes to service levels towards customers. Speed is one of the most important drivers to increase customer satisfaction. And that's the second dimension, is the customer interaction and satisfaction. How can we improve that with our tools and how we handle the claims and how we communicate? And the third part is quality and also the correct reimbursement. How do we make sure that we keep the quality there, we keep the cost, and also then in the end keep the customer happy, and also help the company, the commercial side of making a profit of what we do. If you see someone here rolling their eyes or falling asleep, they're probably from Gjensidige. They've seen this many, many times. So, from that, or actually we can do it like that. No. Doing this, we also recognized that we had gaps. We had gaps with our productivity. We had gaps with our customer satisfaction. We had gaps with our qualities. And larger gaps than we thought was okay. And I think most of us still, this is what we work with. We want to narrow the gaps we have on these dimensions. And then we decided, how can we do anything about this? How can we improve? How can we reduce the gaps? And we decided to focus our attention, making sure that we have digital solution, start working on automated flows, continuous improvements. That's our lean program, where we find something is not working. How can we manage that, improve and follow that? Also, we talked a lot about leadership, competence, and culture, how we act, both as leaders, but also the leadership between colleagues, the leadership when dealing with the customers and so on. And after a year, we also added innovation, because we realized that we need to be innovative to stay on top of what we are doing. And to be honest, this is actually one of the things I've been most proud of in the jobs we've done, is that we have narrowed the gaps on all 3 dimensions. It's been a lot of hard work, and it's not, we didn't have consultants from McKinsey or Boston Consulting. It was not only a management project. The whole team, the whole organization within Gjensidige was involved, together also with our developers, to make sure that we worked on this. And we almost doubled the productivity the last 3 years. Our service levels are generally, we always have areas where we can improve, but they are really good. And I also think in some areas we might have the best service levels within the Swedish industry anyway. We have a higher customer satisfaction, and it's increased 3 or 4 times over the last 3 years. And we have seen a large decrease in customer complaints as well. Quality has improved. We do our close file reviews, and we more or less stopped the leakage we had before. So the quality improved as well. We've done quite a lot of training. We do it more or less on a monthly basis for all of the claim staff. 45 minutes, an hour, general training, but also specific depending on the area. And also, of course, leadership showed the way forward. And this is something we're proud of. But then also, what we realized is that transformation is something that is ongoing. It's an everyday thing we do. And it starts with us as an operation. We need to take responsibility over the development and the transformation from old ways of doing things to new things of doing things. And why is that? You see claims volume going up, new type of claims. We have the environment changes going on. Also then higher expectations from the customers. Compared to 20, 30 years ago, there is a huge difference of what the customers expect. Now we're talking in minutes, not days, for getting things done. Cost pressure, both on our operations, but also on external cost. Doing smart repair on bathrooms and stuff like that saves both the environment, but also claims cost, of course. We need to do the same thing faster, better, and so on. And finally, it's not only technology, it's a human shift as well. We need to change the way we handle claims, the way we act, and so on as well. We've seen it. We've gone from a lot of manual handled claims, where we had challenges, sometimes slow, not consistent, and maybe a bit expensive as well, because we needed a lot of people doing that. Then implementing automation. We with digital, first notice of loss, automated workflows, straight-through processing supports that, but it also creates a demand from the customer. Next time they have a claim, they still expect, things to be done in minutes, not in days or weeks. But the benefits, we get the speed, cost efficiency, improved customer satisfaction. And that's also what we've seen with the things we've done with the customer satisfaction, is that the digital claims also increases our customer satisfaction. Doing that, we've done it on traditional workflow technique, which was rule-based, process-based, and so on. Now, for the last, I would say, 6-8 months, we moved more and more into AI. I know everyone talks about AI, even I do, a lot, because I think it's quite interesting. And we have a few cases where we now will start using AI models. The first one is claims assessment. The first area we will start with is actually personal accident, where we will use the text input from customers, the free text, not a form to fill out, to be able to decide if it's a personal accident or not. This will, simplify the information we need to decide if a claim is valid or not, but it also reduces the amount of information the customer has to fill in. And we reused the old automation flows, and we added an extra layer to this. And to this day, it's called a black box. We need to find a better name for it, but that's our black box now, which then can be reused for many other areas to decide who is responsible for a car accident and so on. So this will also then improve our straight-through processing and so on. The other part we're looking at is we've created a knowledge database, which is more like an agent in Teams, where we can ask questions. And this agent is trained on our rules, guidelines, policy wordings, and so on. It's early days, but it still gives the claims handler a lot of support when handling the claims, because they can use search and immediately get a response of any question they have. And also we can add actually facts from the case and get a advice on how we should handle the claim. Within this as well, we will add text analysis, functionality to analyze text. So we can search for, if you have personal injury cases, you can search for neck problems and get the full review out of hundreds of pages and so on. We can set a timeline within the case. When was the first day of visiting a hospital or whatever it can be. So that we think as well will help us a lot in the more complicated, larger claims, liability claims as well. So we think that will help us a lot. And also specialized AI agents are we looking into. That will be the next step, I would say, where we can use them for specific tasks or specific areas. And I think using the data we have as a company, but also public data, will help us to become better in doing this. And also maybe for medical cases, personal injuries cases, get advice on disabilities, how to measure scars, when it comes to reimbursement for that. Yeah, so it's exciting. But saying that, we still need the people. We're the human side of everything. But we'll see, I would say, and it's quite obvious, we will move from a lot being administrative to be more taking care of the customers, solving the problems, support the customers when they need it. And also, I've stole this from my colleague in Norway, we need to create more warm hands to be able to support customers, but also employees, suppliers, and so on. And it also creates a backup. If we have a peak in claims, we will be less vulnerable when a big storm or something hit, because we have the digital flows that can help us with the easy claims, and we can focus on the more complicated, expensive ones, and so on. Another part of doing all this is also fraud. Doing things automatically also creates a new demand, a new solution for how do we handle fraud, both from customers and suppliers, Trygg-Hansa, on that. And we do that. We have fraud filters. We scan photos, documents from customers to see if they have been changed in any way, and so on. Try to improve the quality of things. But once again, we can't do this without the people. And with all changes ongoing, what we see, and I think many of you as well see, is that, when things changes, it creates, people get worried, and how can we address this? From our point of view, what we want to do is being open. Have training. We need to maybe retrain people. New skills, move from administration to more problem solving, or maybe to become a desktop investigator, or working with the automatic flows or whatever it can be. But also empathy is important, because change is tough. And from our point of view, from what we see that AI replaces tasks, not people. What remains is more human. And by that we mean more like exactly that we think we still need the human in the loop for handling customers, and doing that in a professional way, of course. But it's not only on this, we also need building psychologically safety, hard word. And that's also important when you come to development, to develop your business or new areas, because if people don't feel safe, they are afraid of questioning what we are doing, don't come up with new ideas, and stay silent. So this is a very important part for leaders, managers, directors, is to be aware of it, but also create an environment where you can question the things we are doing. And that has, from my point of view, been one of the parts. We've been successful with the other parts. We've been open, and we had tried to create an environment where we can question things. We can fail, and that's okay. So, yeah, important. And also, leadership. We see change in that from traditionally 20, 30 years ago. It was more control, expertise, stability. That will be important in the future as well, but maybe building more on trust, becoming an enabler, being the one saying that, let's try, see if it works. If it doesn't, let's do something else. Adaptability, also very important. Demands from customers increases a lot, and we need to be able to adapt and adapt quickly. So what we are doing now, we probably will look a bit different in 6 months, 12 months, and so on. So that part is as well very important. So be, courage, be curious, and also, do some experimentation, have fun, test new things, and implement it if it works, and so on. To summarize a bit, from our side, we think speed will be important, even more in the future. Having AI first workflows, faster, smoother, maybe smarter claims handling. But also number 2 there, trust, based it on the human side of everything. Trust in our business is very important. The customer needs to trust us. And that's the people who makes that difference. And then the impact side, it will be a more cooperation between human and machine, and it will be a bit seamless, so to say, where we're not sure if that was a machine or a human. Yep. So to summarize, be curious. I think that's very important. Try new things, new areas, change things. We're in a constant change, so we need to be curious and then also be bold. Move forward and claim the future. That's the thing we talk about for the Norwegian business a lot. And by that meaning, we're responsible for the development and how we want to change our way of handling claims, suppliers, and so on. So that's, I would say, our vision of the future. A lot of AI, but still we need the people, we need the knowledge within the companies. So, thank you. It wasn't 5 minutes, it was a bit more than 20, so no holiday picks now.
No, it was very, very good. And first of all, I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Will I be replaced? Will this next year event, will this be an AI?
No, I don't think so.
No?
But have you, asked how many has created their text by AI today?
No, probably.
No.
Yes, okay. Good to know. I have quite a lot of questions for you, actually.
Okay.
So let's start up with, are there any advantages that you see working with a smaller team when it comes to automation?
Yeah. Compared to other within this industry, at least in Sweden, we are not one of the big ones. So we've had a small team of developers. I think we're about 4 or 5 developers. We have 2-3 business owners, but we work very closely with the whole organization. The improvements, changes are not fed up, they are fed through the organization. For us, it has been very useful actually to do that, because we've moved from almost nothing 3 years ago. 2 years ago, we implemented more or less the first automated flow. And looking at personal accident, we had a straight-through process rate of about 80% of personal accident claims the last few months. So we've moved quite quickly from the old way of doing things to a more modern way of doing things.
And what have been the success factors in making this work?
As I said, we work close together with developers, business development, with the claims handler, the different teams we have, but also other parts of the company as well. Because also, products need to be changed to be better adapted to automation and so on as well. So I would say it is the cooperation and also creating the environment that people want to try new things and move forward.
And you talk a lot about being bold and being curious and doing experiments. And what is the balance between being bold and dare to try new things versus like making mistakes?
Yeah, it's a risk business we do, and so we need to be bold to try new things, but also you need to comparing that to the risk you take as well. So when we started off, all the automated claims ended up with a claims handler to review them manually to see, is it working? Communication, is it working? Payment working, and so on. So you need to also then put in checks and balance in that. But things have gone wrong as well. But maybe more of an operational point of view than financially, so to say. Because from the financial side, we want the checks and balance, of course.
Of course. And some questions from another one is, how do you measure productivity?
We do it by taking the amount of claims we have divided by the number of FTEs. So that's how we measure productivity. And we do that for the whole claims department. So managers and other non-productive staff, so to say, are back, so we don't grow the admin of what we're doing. So.
And about targeting cost savings from technology opportunities, and in addition of the roles of the human, how do you see that?
You mean the efficiency gains we get from the human side? I would say we have, as we want to grow on the Swedish market, what we want to achieve is more growth without adding more people. We don't have a plan to reduce people. So we want to keep the people we have. We have really good people as well, so that's one of the reasons. But what we want to achieve together with the commercial side of the company, of course, create the growth without adding cost for every new customer we add. So we can build the volumes on top of the technical solutions we have. So
basically repair and reuse the people that you have and don't throw them away.
No.
Exactly.
No.
All right. Thank you so much, Markus.
Thank you.